So many wines and so many labels. What's on the label? What do you look for? How do you know if it's good wine or not? Hey guys, Marcel with Old School Wine Crew back again. We got several bottles here. We actually drank these bottles, but what I want to do is I want to go over the wine labels with you guys. This is from Argentina, this is from Italy, this is from Spain, this is from Chile, and this is from Napa. And they all have different wine labels, they all have different things on them, and I want to go over each one with you. And I also want to show you another app that I've been using called Wine Searcher. So stay tuned, and we're going to go over all aspects of reading wine labels and what it tells you about a wine. Okay, let's start with this one. This is Marcello Pelleretti Selection Blend of Terroir 2015. James Suckling gave it a 95, and it was pretty damn good. One of the things about this is it tells you that it's from the Valle de Uco. Let me get a better angle here. It tells you it's the Valle de Uco, Mendoza, Argentina. So you get a little bit of information there. And then you have some ratings from different critics. In this case, it's Suckling all three times, but it's different years. But a 95 rating, and this wine goes for about $35 now. Used to go for about $23. That's a really good bargain. And on the back side, it gives you all the information about it. Some wines will give you more information than others. This one, like it says, it's a blend. The blend is, right here it says 50% Malbec, 31% Syrah, 19% Cabernet Franc from Valle de Uco, which is a noted area. It says, it tells you the oak. It's been aged for 20 months in French oak barriques. French oak tends to be a little lighter than American oak. American oak gives it a lot more vanilla flavors. And it'll tell you more of the characteristics of it. Down here, it'll tell you alcohol by volume, 15%, which is pretty high. It's 750 milliliters, like most wine bottles. And it gives you a whole kind of a little bit of a breakdown on it. And it's in English. This is imported by Go Wine LLC in Miami, Florida. So this is a wine you can find locally if you're in Miami. And next wine we're going to look at is Poliziano Nobile di Montepulciano. It's a 2019. It's made in Tuscany in Montepulciano. Nobile di Montepulciano is a grape that is Sangiovese, kind of like what Chianti is. Now this label tells you a couple things. It tells you Toscana, state bottle de Hacienda Agricola Poliziano, Carletti Poliziano, okay? It has what's called Denomination de Origin Controlada y Garantizada. And you'll see that on the label. It'll say DOCG. And basically what that tells you is when it's a Tuscan wine, in particular DOCG, the wines that come out of that area, DOCG means that it's guaranteed quality. Wine 3 from Spain. It's a Rioja, Herederos de Marques de Riscal, Rioja, 2019 Reserva. Reserva will tell you a little bit more, and we'll talk about that in another video regarding how much time it has in oak barrels and how much time they age it. But this is a 2019. On the back side, same kind of thing. It'll give you Surgeon General warning, okay? But it tells you who's the bottler. And then on the bottom, in Rioja, in order for it to be from Rioja, it also has this thing. It says DOC Rioja, and it's a Reserva. So it has to have this tag. And as you can see, it's a tag that's only given out by Rioja region, and it says Cosecha 2019, the number, and the fact that it's a Reserva. But Riojas have to have that particular tag. And now we're in Chile. This is also a 2019 Le Petit Clos from Clos Apalta in Apalta. It says denomination of origin Apalta, so it's certified to come from there. And that's the bottler Domaines Bornay La Postel. Now this wine goes for about $55 to $60. A lot of it has to do with its own reputation. La Petit Clos and the Apalta region is a very famous region in Chile. It says produced and bottled by Clos Apalta, SPA, Santa Cruz, Chile, product of Chile. And it's imported by Winebow of New York, New York. But as you can see, this one doesn't have all the little tickets like the one that we were looking at from Spain or Italy. It doesn't have a DOCG or a Rioja sticker on it. It just is from that area. And it has a reputation for being very good. And again, this is the Le Petit Clos. So Petit Clos is one that I said you needed to look up what's on it. So what I'm going to use for this one, I'm going to use one, I could use Vivino, but I'm going to use Wine Searcher. Now Wine Searcher is an app where you can basically scan labels just like you do on Vivino, going to recognize the label. Let me get a little farther back so you can see better. Once it recognizes the label, it's going to look up all the information on it. So that's it. Close-up Alta, Le Petit Claus, Apalta Valley. I'm going to click on it. It tells you the different prices and different places you can find it close by. Like, for example, a Total Wine. Total Wine in Naples has it for $50. You look around, oh, look, B21 in Tarpon Springs has it for $40. So you can look around. That's obviously a case. But you can see different prices in different areas. Now, if you don't know anything about the wine, you go on profile. It tells you a little bit about the wine, where it's from, bold wine, Bordeaux red blend, what it pairs well with. Okay, it can tell you about the producer. And then it starts telling you more about the wine. Drinking window 22 to 2030 is when you should drink it. The alcohol by volume. And then it even tells you what we were looking for, which wasn't on the label, which was 49% Carmenere, 30% Merlot, 18% Cabernet, and 3% Petit Verdot. It tells you what kind of oak it was. It tells you pretty much everything. The vineyard notes, the elevation, the latitude. I mean, it gives you everything you really need to know about this wine. And then later on, it tells you some more from the different wineries. But it also gives you reviews. So here's your critic reviews. So Jancis Robinson, Tim Atkin gave him a 93. I believe that James Suckling's not on here, but he gave it a very high rating. These are the different vintages and the ratings, the average ratings on there. And it gives you a whole idea. And the price, how much it's gone up in the last couple of years. If it's gone up, it's gone a little bit. So it gives you an idea of also if you were buying wines, for investment, it also lets you do that. So Wine Searcher is a really good one when it comes to that. So let's go ahead and find another one. I'm going to grab this Marcello Pelleretti. Okay, there it is. And we're going to scan that one. And there it is. Check. James Suckling had this thing. There's 90. James Suckling had it as the 8 wine. That's not good. Well, I mean, the only one it's showing is in Glendale, California, but I know you can get this one at Total Wine. You can get it locally at Graziano's and a couple of other places. I think Top Liquor and Wine in Doral has it as well. Profile. Red wine, about $30. Malbec Syrah. That's about it. This one doesn't have quite as much information, but it did have it on the label. So let's look at reviews. Average review on this thing is about 90. The vintages, 2015, 2014. Apparently those are the only vintages. And this one is a 2015. So you can get more information on that. It also gives you the prices. And if you couldn't find it locally, you could also find it online. Let's do one more on Wine Search. Let's do Let's do this Reserva. Let's see what it tells us about this wine. So we're going to scan it. Press the little button. Now we're going to press plus the check mark. There it is. Average price. Let's click on it. Should be between $17 and $17. That's a good price. $15. Let's look at it. It's a red wine, Rioja red blend. Details from Rioja Alavesa, 14%, 96% Tempranillo, 4% Graciano, oaked, ownership, cork. So it gives you some information. So you can see the Petit Claus, which we looked at a little earlier, which was this deal. That gave us a lot of information on Wine Searcher, but it didn't give us very much on the label. Okay, another wine label here. This is Valentine Posai Vineyard. So it's a specific vineyard from Napa Valley, Calistoga. So the more specific you get with California wines, generally the more expensive they are. Basically with California wines, if it just says California, that means it can come from anywhere. This is from Calistoga, which is an area in Napa. They say it's estate grown at this vineyard, and it's a 2019 Petit Syrah. So obviously it's a little more specific. This wine is it's a little higher end. Napa wines tend to be a little bit more expensive. You can see they give you a little story behind the vineyard and the whole 9 yards, and produced at Valentine in St. Helena, California. This is a single varietal, so it's only Petit Syrah. The ones we did before, like the Petit Clos, if you notice, this one doesn't say what's in it. But if you weren't sure and you wanted to check, you could check on Vivino or Wine Searcher, and it'll give you a breakdown. You can also check their own website, and they give you an idea based on the year of what their blend is and what's inside of it, so you can get a better idea. Especially if you're going to spend more money on wine, you might want to know what's in it, and that would be what I would do. For example, going back to this one pretty much had a breakdown in the back. This is a Rioja, which Riojas tend to be mostly Tempranillo, even though they have some other blends in there, but it doesn't really say, and that'll change from year to year. And then this one, the Vino Nobile de Montepulciano, it's very specific to what grapes they can use, just like they are in Rioja. So that's the only way they can get that denomination and get that specific sticker. So in Rioja, the sticker's on the bottom. You'll see that in Spain, you'll see that in Ribera del Duero, but in places like Argentina, nothing. The only thing they have to tell you in California is if it's from California, and they try to be more and more specific based on wanting to give you more information so they can charge you a little more money for it. And it tends to be a little bit more, it tends to be a little bit better when it comes from a specific place. So that's something I would recommend. But as it gets more specific, the wines get more expensive. Wine Searcher is also available online. So if you have an account, even if it's not the pro account, you can go online and it'll show you stores and producers. It'll give you wine news. It's got all kinds of things, the different regions. But it also has the ability, at least not with your computer, but with your phone and the app, to go ahead and scan all the different wine labels, and it tells you all the information about the wine. I hope you enjoyed the video on wine labels and found it really informative. If you have any other questions, make sure you write them down in the comment section below. You can also give me a big old like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting content weekly, and I look forward to both hearing from you in the comment section and seeing you next week. Have a great one.